Okay, so this is the second video, a two-part video on the secondary air injection pump for a 2008 Pontiac Grand Prix. It was giving me code 2430, and so I decided to investigate and see what was going on. So one of the things that I did prior to removing the pump, I went ahead and tested the fuse, which is this one right here. It's a 56 air pump 50 amp relay, which is that one. So I check it, I put an ohm meter, and it's not open, it's closed, meaning that it's good, and the resistance is there. Then the next thing I did was I tested the voltage here at the connector, which is this one right here. Tested the voltage. I put a multimeter on, and with the switch being turned off, it registered like 12.5 volts. Once I started the car, and the car starts without this being connected, which no problem. So I read the volt at that point, and it showed like 13.5 volts. So the current is going through, it's flowing through nicely into here. Then the next thing I did before I took out the pump is I connected gator clips to the battery and to the connector on the pump itself. You can see there the red and the black, right? So I did the connection here. I clamp this connector into there. I did that one for the positive, and then here I connected the other end to the battery, right? So this is just basically trying to get the motor running directly, applying direct current without the fuse and things like that, right? So I did that connection, and the motor did not turn on. So I then proceeded to remove the pump. So I had to, just to give me more room access, I took out the air filter that goes here, and here's the computer, right? I'm just sitting it there. The pump, this pump goes inside there. There's a bracket, and this is not mounted on the bracket. It goes inside there, and it's been held in place by these two nuts, size 15. They go in there, two screws, right? And then one particular bolt that goes over there, it's another size 15. I use I think this is like a 2-inch extension, and I think the other is a 4-inch, but whatever works for you when you take it out. Now the other thing is that this hose right here goes into that opening there, and here's the other hose, or the other connector for the hose. That other hose goes into the air filter unit itself. To take out this particular clamp, I found out that you have to just press in here. I use a channel lock. Press in here, and then you pull it out. You know, you move it around, twist, and you turn it, and then you pull at the same time, and it'll come out. Right, so that was the way for me to get those things out. Now on the other video, and I show I disassembled the pump and everything, and wanted to test it, right? So the pump itself, you have this bit T20 bits here, right? I already disassembled it. So I took it out, I pry this open, I remove it. I use a screwdriver to pull it out, just to disassemble it. Now prior to doing this, I went to the auto shop to see if they had it, right? And they did, and I actually bought it. So I wanted to test this and see what I could find on the motor. And the motor was pretty messed up, but this, you know, you just pry it like this, and you just turn it, and then you pull it up. I put oil in here, and I tried to loosen up the shaft. Prior to doing that, I put a little, like a size 4 Allen wrench, and I tap on it to loosen it, and it did work. So anyway, so this comes off, right? I put WD-40 on the shaft before I started doing that. Right, so that comes off, and then you have this T20 screws in here too, right? And that releases the motor. So you can see that on this particular motor, I don't know if you can tell there, the shaft actually spins, but it catches. But look how messed up the motor or the casing is. So I couldn't get the once I took this off from the assembly, from this mounting bracket, by removing these 4 screws. I took this off, and that's as far as I could go. I couldn't go any further. I mean, I thought maybe I was going to be able to disassemble this housing, the motor housing, but I wasn't able to. I don't know if that comes off. And then I wanted to test it, so I did the same thing when this opened. I plug in the gator clips into here and then to the battery, and at some point I did see that the motor tried to spin, but it got jammed again. And then I tried to loosen it, and manually the shaft does spin, and then I connected it again and it wasn't moving at all, and then it started to smoke. Yeah, because the current was being applied still, but the shaft was not moving. So I went ahead and got the new pump. And there's the people at the auto place. There's 2 types I found out. One is California emission, the other one is a federal emission. They look different. So I took the low emission because that's the one that is for this particular car. So here's the new pump, right? So basically it comes with this, and there's actually a cover to protect the shaft. So I just have to assemble, put it back into the bracket, and it comes with this, like this, and the gasket, right? And then it has little mounting screws that go in there, but I'm gonna put this back. I'm gonna put that back instead. But anyway, so this is what it is. So this cost me, I think with taxes, like 100, in my state at least, 147. It could be less, but this is the part that I just got. So I'm gonna assemble it and put it back in there. And it has a lifetime warranty on this particular pump. And the maker, sorry if I'm moving too much, but I'm using my cell phone. That's it, that's the one. So I'm gonna, and it comes with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it back together and see what happens after that.